Today I'm going to give a short demo using the Domesday Duplicator to capture RF from a VCR. The Domesday Duplicator was originally designed for capturing the RF signal from Laserdisc players, and it's now one of a few different hardware options that can capture the RF signal from tape decks too. To capture something, we'll need to start by opening up the deck. I'm using a Sony SVO5800 here because Sony decks usually have easily accessible pins where the RF signal can be tapped. The tap I'm using has a 10 microfarad capacitor on the input line. More recent recommendations use an amplifier board like this one that integrates things like the capacitor and impedance matching resistors. But the voltage regulator that board uses is hard to find, so I'm just using this method for now. And while we're on the topic of amplification, it's worth mentioning that the Domesday Duplicator does have its own amplification stage, which I have set to the highest setting here as well. Alright, let's get everything hooked up. The Domesday Duplicator only has one RF input, so I'll just be capturing the video RF signal here. Hi-Fi audio uses a separate tap point, and linear audio isn't carried in the RF signal on VHS decks, so those would need to be captured separately. The Domesday Duplicator has dedicated capture software, so we can open that up now that everything else is ready. Once we're sure that all of our settings are right, we just have to hit the capture button, and we can see that we're picking up a signal. Okay, capture complete. Let's check it out. Our raw RF signal is similar to an uncompressed 16-bit audio file. We can even open it in a program like Audacity. In order to actually make sense of this file, though, we'll need to use the software vhs-decode to process it first. Processing the file takes a while, but once it's complete we can now view it in the LD Analyze software. Here we can look at things like the dropout graph, vector scope, waveform, and make adjustments to the luma and chroma signals. The TBC Tools package that contains LD Analyze also includes some other useful scripts for things like losslessly compressing Domesday Duplicator captures using FLAC, or downsampling 40 megasamples per second captures of the Hi-Fi RF. If we want to export our capture as a normal video file, we can use a program called TBC Video Export. This allows us to render an FFV1 NKV file from the processed file we made earlier. We can also bake in chroma, luma, or various filtering and processing changes here as well. And there we have it, a video generated from an RF capture using the Domesday Duplicator.